We are live, sister.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to welcome everyone. We are super excited. Miss Dory on purpose, Ray. Love that. We are here to bring you some really exciting information. I know I'm excited. We will be starting in 3 minutes at the top of the hour, 7 o'clock. I want to make sure that you can share this information with your Facebook family and friends. All you have to go to is Dory on Purpose Facebook page. And from there, you can share it to your own page. Matter of fact, that's what I'm doing right now. So everyone just join me and tell me in the chat, where are you chiming in from this evening on this lovely Monday evening? Where are we chiming in from? Let me see if I can see anyone in the comment. Okay, all right. Good evening, Miss Keisha. Okay, all right, Dory. I'm chiming in from Atlanta, Beaufort, Georgia, which is about 40, 50 miles north of Atlanta. I see Philly is representing strong in the house. We will be getting started again 2 minutes before the hour. So we are almost there. We are super excited. Absolutely. And I am going to share to my page right now. Da-da. Yes. I hope everyone had a blessed day today. And here I go sharing. I want to make sure everyone gets this information. All right.
I see that Keisha is sharing the live to so many people, and I would suggest everybody do the same. Look at that, Pamela. Keisha sharing it out like crazy.
Wow. Look at that. I see that. So everyone can join us tonight for this really I'm telling you, Miss Story, when I first heard about this information that we're about to share tonight, it blew my mind. I don't know about you.
I was blown away. It only took one presentation for me to say, thank God I'm in the right place at the right time with the
Right?
right people. I tell you, it was
Absolutely.
amazing. It was amazing. And I know tonight is going to be amazing as well. We're at 7:02. Do you want me to go ahead and get started or?
Yes, we are actually at 7 o'clock on the dot. So, yes, I'm going to pass the mic over to you because although we are your lovely hosts, we are not sharing the information tonight. But we have a very special person. So, I'm going to hand that over to you, Miss Dory, to present our presenter tonight.
All righty. Well, welcome everyone to our live. I want to give it back to my dear new friend. I'm telling you, I'm meeting some amazing people in this opportunity. I want to give it back to Miss Pamela Boutte. I tell you, when you look up professionalism in the dictionary, when you look up someone who, this lady crosses every T and dots every I. I'm so excited to be on this journey with you, Miss Pamela Boutte. Not only that, you have such a servant's heart. I appreciate all that you've done for me because I know sometimes I can be a little difficult to work with. And I got a little crazy bone that goes off sometimes, but it's all good. And like Pamela said, we are not your presenters tonight. Let me tell you something. If we were, the show would be almost over. But we have a person in our studio tonight who is 100% qualified to share this information. When I tell you this gentleman has all the facts, if you're here because you are a fact checker, you're in the right place at the right time with the right person. Not only does he has all the facts, he is fully documented. He has not only made significant income in the people to people industry, in his life in general, he has been highly successful. He is by trade, he is an attorney, so he understands business, he understands people, and he understands money because he has touched a lot of it, okay, and continues to do that on a regular basis. One thing I love about him though is that he loves to help people. This young man and his two partners have, for the last 60 some odd days, and I may be off by a few days or so, they have poured their heart into helping people position themselves into the opportunity we're going to share with you tonight. And I haven't got a chance to meet him personally, but I get a sneaky suspicion that when all the work is done, this young man knows how to roll up his sleeves and have some fun. So I am going to move myself out the way. And without further ado, I'm going to bring to you Mr. Spencer Iverson. I'm going to add him to the stage right now. Mr. Iverson, we're going to turn this over to you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to Dory on Purpose Ray and to Pamela Boutte. I think I messed it up last night on Pamela. My apologies. The name jumped out at me. I didn't want to mess it up, but I heard it from Dory. So Pamela Boutte and Dory, you said it correctly. What a professional. Both of you, your charisma, your energy. I love the mutual edification, one of the other, one for the other. That is a hallmark of this space, and you edify each other in earnest. It's not for show, and it's not for false aggrandizement. It's literally because you care, and those are the types of people I like working with. When you all were first introduced to me, I felt your energy. I'm a Scorpio through and through, and so I am a true empath. I used to never really understand why, as a child, I felt some of the things that I felt, but I feel you all's energy, literally, and it's positive, it's contagious, and we are excited about the information that we're going to share on tonight for all of those guests who are watching this presentation live and those who may see this later on as it is being streamed, I'm sure, to dozens and dozens of Facebook pages around the country and different parts of the world. So do I just start in this platform here and then, okay, yes, fantastic. Let's go. Well, guys, listen, for those of you who are watching this live, a little bit more about my background that will help you understand the perspective from which I share this information. I founded, as a CEO and co-founder, 3 different home-based business projects over the past 12 years. I have been blessed to have made a lot of money as a builder. I came into this industry as a CEO of a company, and I was very skeptical about the people-to-people space. My dad's a preacher, and I watched my dad growing up get pitched everything: juices, cosmetics, creams, vitamins, you name it. And I said, whatever it is my dad is doing, I'm not going to do, including preach, right? And wow, so to think that now God has allowed me to be one of the foremost proponents of the home-based business space is quite the pivot, right? But I share with you about my legal background, about my home-based business background, because I am a trained skeptic. I tell audiences around the world, there is nobody on this line more skeptical than me, because as an attorney, we are trained to be skeptical. Does that mean now that we don't fall victim and prey to other people's fraud? No, it just means that we have a skillful eye at looking at things with great detail. After building in different companies for a number of years, I decided that my talents at this point in time of my life would be best suited at the executive level. And so for the past 12 years, I've owned, scaled and sold 3 different major home-based business projects, setting records with 2 of them. And we sold the 3rd one in 2021. And my partner and I, Mr. Jonathan Green, started a travel company, which we still own today. We just haven't really launched it big yet. And I do consulting, and I've written 3 books about the industry. So I know a little bit about this space. Now, this is not to impress you. It's really to help you understand that we kind of know what we're talking about. I'm also not hype guy. I'm not here to get you excited and rah, because sometimes people make bad decisions when you make emotional decisions. I want you to make an informed decision. Okay. I want you to listen to the facts of the presentation. I love something that Dory said. Dory says she saw this one time, and based on that one presentation, she was ready to get started. There's so much training in there that I may allude to throughout the course of this presentation, but I have a sneaking suspicion that that may also be some of you on tonight. Let's get started with the presentation, because we're going to be talking about the future of money. The name of the project is Mosca. Okay. And when we look at the future of money, all we're looking to do is unleash the power of peer to peer funding with a 100% mutual benefit. What's mutual benefit? Mutual benefit means that I win and you win. That's the type of negotiator that I am, right? I don't like, and John Maxwell, to me, he's my absolute favorite personal development author. As a matter of fact, speaking of personal development, I am the founder of the Worthy of Millions Masterclass. It is literally one of America's fastest growing personal development communities. And so I train. I've been doing this for 3 years. It's an award-winning program, and I train on personal development. And one of the things that John Maxwell talks about is when you have benefits and it's a win-lose. That's a bad, or a lose-win. Those are bad scenarios. I like win-win. You got something that I want, I've got something that you want, and we both walk away feeling great. That's this project. This project is a win-win where there is a 100% mutual benefit, and we'll go through the details of that as we move forward. Now, banking is necessary. Banks, not so much. Banking is necessary, but banks, not so much. What I mean by that, if you can look at the device in my hand, okay? I can't remember the last time I walked into a physical bank. You know why I can't remember the last time I walked into a physical bank? Because everything I need to do these days takes place on this device. There are many things in my life I would rather lose than my cell phone. I can lose my wallet. I can lose my keys. I can lose a remote control. But my goodness, I cannot lose my cell phone. Some of y'all can say amen to that. Why? Everything I need to do is on this device. If I need to deposit money or digitally upload a check, I can do it. If I need to withdraw money, I can do it. If I need to open up a new account, I can do it. If I need to transfer funds, I can do it. Guys, everything I need to do, I can wire funds around the world from this device. Why? Because we're in the digital era. We're in the digital era. Everything now is being digitized. Our music, digitized. Cryptocurrency, digitized. Documentation, digital. Y'all remember, I'm going to date myself a little bit. Do y'all remember when you used to have to get a piece of paper in this big old machine and ask somebody, hey, what's your fax number? Or when you were building a house or moving into a new home, you had to have 2 numbers. And if you were in business and had a home-based business, you were like, I need another line, sir, AT&T, Bell South, or whoever was your service provider, Comcast, because I need to have a fax line. Y'all remember that? Ain't nobody faxing these days. And if you are, please put your hands down. Don't admit to that. You're going to date yourself, right? But you remember, though, right, how we used to have to fax things? Why don't we have to fax things now? Because you can do it on what? On your phone. There are so many devices, so many apps now that will scan your document, digitize it, and allow you to send a PDF anywhere in the world in seconds. Guys, the revolution is happening. We're not going into a digital era. We're in a digital era. And now with the advent of the digital wallet, it represents a $4.6 trillion industry. All I'm doing right now, guys, is giving you facts. Just like a good attorney, I'm just building a case. I don't build cases on emotions and hype and guys, can you imagine? No, we're not here to imagine. We're here to just look at the data and make a decision based on the data. The fact of the matter is there are trillions of dollars being made, and there have been billions of digital wallets created. And what we're taking advantage of now is called the blockchain. The blockchain. Now, here's some data points that I know. I have invested in, my son and I particularly, and my daughter, we have been investing in cryptocurrency for 8 or 9 years. We've watched this evolution. We've watched this revolution happen right in front of us. And we have been huge proponents of cryptocurrency for a number of years. We are extremely familiar with the blockchain. However, I know that statistically, as of January of 2025, less than 17% of all American households have even bought cryptocurrency before. Yet, listen to what I'm about to tell you. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. In this age of cryptocurrency, it is the largest wealth transfer in the history of mankind. Watch this. On the date of Donald Trump's inauguration, he introduced the Trump meme coin. Okay. Don't have to have the time to go into the details of what a meme coin is. My son and I invest in a number of those. But the point of the matter is this. In a span of 48 hours, Donald Trump and that coin generated $79 billion in revenue in 48 hours. 1,000 people became millionaires in 48 hours for the very first time in their lives. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I call that a clue. I call that a clue. So there's things that are, and just because you haven't participated in it doesn't mean it's not real, right? Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. I watch a lot of people miss out on life because they miss out. I don't really understand that. Well, learn. Learn. Maybe it's something you should start paying attention to. Because when something is making this much money, has this kind of potential, maybe you should slow down a little bit. And if you don't have something happening in your life that can generate the kind of revenue you want to make, that can lead you to the lifestyle you want to live, maybe you should take a deep breath, pause, and take a look. So let's talk about the blockchain. What is it? It's nothing more than an online digital ledger that records transactions of all types. Information passes through this service like an information superhighway at all times of day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Now, there are certain characteristics that gives the blockchain its inherent value. One of those characteristics is that it is immutable, meaning that anything that you put on the blockchain cannot be changed. This world is replete with hackers and the dark web and people who have nefarious intentions. But on the blockchain, you cannot hack the blockchain. The other characteristic of the blockchain that gives it its value is that it has full transparency. Anything that is recorded on the blockchain can be seen by the public. So there is no fudge, erase. Everything that you do, every single transaction can be seen and is documented on the blockchain. So for that reason, blockchain as a service has now become an industry, a multi-trillion-dollar industry where companies are creating products and services simply based on the blockchain. And this is more than just cryptocurrency. And then finally, what are we taking advantage of? We're talking about the technology, digital wallets. We're talking about blockchain as a service, and we're taking advantage of the network effect. What is the network effect? The network effect is where we're just sharing with individuals. We're just using the power of word of mouth advertising, which allows us to be both producer and consumer. See, when you learn this part of the wealth building game, you're on your way. It's called the prosumer effect. Mr. Iverson, what's a prosumer? It's simply a combination of producer and consumer. Guess which side of the coin most of us reside? Let me help you. It begins with a C, ends in R, has consumer in the middle. Most of us are consumers. What does that mean? We buy. We buy. There's a concept that I talk about sometimes in my masterclass that I caution people about, that a lot of people, including myself in the past, have fallen victim to. It's called conspicuous consumption. What is conspicuous consumption? Let me give you a real example. There's a date coming up, April 15th or so, where our taxes are due. Now, some of us are filing early because we're expecting a return. Some people have already calculated return. And some of us already have that $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 already spent. Girl, I'm going on that jazz cruise. Girl, I'm getting that Gucci bag. Girl, I'm getting them sunglasses. Already spent. And sometimes what conspicuous consumption is every time you get an increase in pay, a bump in income, it becomes conspicuous because you spend that which you're blessed with. And it's honestly, and I teach on a lot of biblical principles, it's poor stewardship. It's poor stewardship. What about saving? What about investing? And so a lot of individuals miss being a producer because we live in a country, in a society where we're bombarded with ads. We're bombarded with buy. See, I was in that kind of space when I was building in the home-based business space until I realized, Spencer, listen, your real value is as an owner, is as an executive. And I began to find the right product and service and team and put those systems in place because I wanted to be a producer, right? I wanted to provide jobs and provide opportunities. I was good with numbers. I was good with marketing and branding and leading. I knew the legal side, but then also the products I could participate in as well. That's what we have here. With the Mosca project, you can be a consumer. You can take advantage of this very real service that we have, but also a producer. By helping us expand and grow the network, you'll get paid for your services as well. That's a win-win, guys. It's a global payments network, member to member. So when people ask, Mr. Iverson, I've watched you on Facebook, I've seen some things on social media about this Mosca project. What is it? I said, think of it this way. Think of Cash App on the blockchain. That's my easiest way to explain it to people. Think of Cash App on the blockchain. I had a guy, I had a person, even today, Mr. Iverson. I have a lot of people asking me, what's the real product? What's the real product? They're still trying to figure out what the product is. Okay, stop. Okay. So sometimes what I have to do is let people use their own brain. Okay. I just can't easily just give you the answer. Even though I know the answer, I need you to think your way through something, because it becomes easy just to ask Mr. Iverson, Mr. Brown, and Mr. Green, because sometimes stuff just come out. I'm like, did you really kind of think about this before you ask me? But here we go. What is the real product? So I'm going to ask you the question, and whatever your answer to this question is the answer to the Mosca question. What is the product of Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, and Zelle? What's their product? Whatever you're saying in your mind is the product for Mosca, because it's the same thing. The only difference is that they use Web 2 technology. They use fiat currency, MasterCard, Visa, American Express, cash. Those require third-party intermediaries. Did you know that a few weeks before I even knew about the Mosca project, a few weeks before I even knew that Mosca existed and was pre-launching, I still stay on top of my finances. I read an article, and in some of my earlier presentations, I would show you the evidence, and you can Google this for yourself. Google fraud and Zelle, Bank of America, and Chase. Just Google that, and you'll see the article. Fourth quarter of last year, the Consumer Protection Bureau, a division of the federal government, sued Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Chase, three of the largest banks in the world. Why? Because they have perpetrated an almost $900 million fraud against their customers based on the Zelle platform. Zelle came out after Venmo and PayPal. And so they saw the kind of money that Venmo and PayPal were making. So they said, listen, we're losing ground. We're losing business. We need to come up with our own service, our own peer-to-peer service, where if you have Cash App and I have Cash App, we can just bypass the bank and go Cash App to Cash App, PayPal to PayPal, Venmo to Venmo. Now it's Zelle to Zelle. But you know what they didn't do? In an effort to rush Zelle to the marketplace, they overlooked certain safety and security protocols, allowing the system to be replete for hackers, to be open to hackers and people on the dark web, to the tune of almost $1 billion, right? So guys, listen, what we have now is the world's first peer-to-peer decentralized finance network, where if you have Mosca and I have Mosca, we can send it through the app, send cryptocurrency through the app almost instantaneously. And then somebody, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, right? So it's a global payments network. Let's keep going. Global payments network. Now, here's a message. The people who are going to receive this information the best are those who are open to different ways of making money. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not acting as an attorney on tonight. Anything that you choose to do in terms of at a participation level with this company, please do so at your own discretion. However, in a part of my work, I do large scale commodities deals, right? Fuel, gas, gold, and God has allowed me in that space to interact with legitimate billionaires. Guys, there's levels to this stuff, right? I literally know 3 billionaires in different parts of the world that I interact with. And probably about once a month, we talk about different deals that we're working on, whether I'm looking to supply them with fuel from a seller or vice versa. Anyway, it's fascinating to me when I talk to them about what they're doing at the time. They're calling me from their jet or doing a Zoom from Dubai. But the point is, I get a chance to see in real time how the mind of billionaires work. I'm gonna give you one hint on tonight. This is really not even a part of the presentation, but it is. There's an old saying, and I believe it was in the Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, that wealthy people and those who have the propensity to become wealthy make fast decisions and change very slowly. Individuals who never really have the propensity to become wealthy, they take a long time to make decisions and change very quickly. And I've noticed this to be true. Dory said it first on the call. She didn't even know she was referring to the John Maxwell principle. I'm not John Maxwell, but a Napoleon Hill principle. You see, when I'm enrolling someone or when I'm working with somebody in my masterclass and I'm mentoring and I'm coaching, I can oftentimes tell whether this person is going to successfully complete this campaign based on the speed with which they make decisions, right? Some people, that's just, they even brag about how long they take. Mr. Iverson, now I'm skeptical now, so it's going to take me a while. Okay, well, just stay where you are, man. Stay where you are, bro. See, because by the time you get it, I'm gone. Because billionaires and those who have made life-changing money, they make fast decisions. Has anybody seen Shark Tank? These guys have about 15 minutes to make a decision whether I'm in or I'm out, and they writing checks for millions of dollars. What they don't say is, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna really ponder this thing. I'm gonna really ponder this, and I'm really going to just really, no, man, they get it. They in and out. So it's how I filter and how I choose who to align myself with. I've got to move with people who move. Next slide. Okay, so we're done with that one. All right, so when we look at PayPal by the numbers, okay, because Mr. Iverson, how are you all getting the word out about Mosca? Well, you guys, sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Even though we're the world's first to have a Web3 decentralized finance peer-to-peer network service, right? We're not the first company to come out with a new service. So what do? This is some of the stuff I do in my consulting. You don't necessarily need to reinvent the wheel. You simply, what do? You do R&D, not research and development. I mean, rob and duplicate. You simply look at what a company in your sector has done successfully, and you mimic that. Who are we looking at? Great question. We're looking at PayPal. Now, a lot of people think that Elon Musk made his billions of dollars through Tesla. No, he made his first billions of dollars by being a co-founder of a company called PayPal. Now, do we have the video queued up? Let's run that video.
We do not have the video. We were not able to cue it.
No worries. Let me explain to you what Elon Musk did. Nobody knew about PayPal, PalPay. Nobody knew what it was. It was brand new. Now, other peer-to-peer services were out. So how did PayPal get traction in the marketplace? Let me share with you what they did. Elon Musk said in a podcast interview that they incentivized individuals and paid them $20 for enrolling into the PayPal service, and then gave them another $20 bill when they referred someone. They ran this play, and in the first 30 days, they attracted over 100,000 customers. It kept going. It kept growing to the point where they said, hey, listen, we're going to give you $10 if you enroll and $10 if you refer someone. It kept growing even faster to the point where they said, we'll give you $5 if you enroll, $5 if you refer someone. It continued to grow even bigger to the point where Elon Musk said there was no financial incentive we could give to people that would stop them from using PayPal. They had already now, by that point, it had hit a part of business and business growth called critical mass, where you couldn't stop it if you wanted to. Now, let's look at the numbers of PayPal. Look at the number. And in that interview, Elon Musk said, when we were in the boardroom ideating this concept of how to grow it, here's what our hope was. We were hoping that people using the network effect, just friends telling friends, that each person would generate 2 to 3 users quickly. I'm gonna come back to that. They just hoped that if they took that incentive and got involved in the PayPal network, that Spencer would tell 2 to 3 friends quickly about the PayPal service. Look at what happened. As of today of 2025, there are 426 million active users of PayPal. It has generated $1.53 trillion in volume, net revenue of $29 billion, and $4.24 billion in profit. Go to that number of 426 million. The CEO, Greg Baldwin, has said that the goal for this year is to have 1 million active users of Mosca. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do you even understand? Do you even understand how many of you all are going to make 4, 5, and 6 figures per month residually just on 1 million? That's about 400 times less than PayPal. Guys, we don't need to knock PayPal. We're not beating ourselves on the chest. Yo, we're going to knock PayPal out of business. No, no, we don't, gosh, we don't want to say that. No, no. Guys, we can crush the game with a million. Just 1/400th of what they're doing, right? That's what has me excited about the world of possibilities that exists with an emerging technology. We're not trying to sell you 8-tracks in a digital age. This is where the state of technology is digital. Everything is going to the blockchain. Everything is going cryptocurrency, whether you like it or not. Let's continue. So how do we get started? There are two paths. There are two paths into the Mosca ecosystem. One, you can come in, become involved as a citizen. All we're doing, as it says, is we're leveraging the power of the network effect. You're just telling your friends, family, coworkers about this project. Each citizen refers 3 one-time to trigger needed daily and monthly residual funding. Guys, have you been in programs before where it just seemed like, even though this is not network marketing in the truest sense of the word, multi-level marketing, it's a cooperative business model. Excuse me, but how many of you have been in a home-based project before where it just seemed like the recruiting just never stopped? Where like you couldn't make a dent in any sizable income if you just had to recruit everybody. Guys, listen, we're saying we want everybody to get 3 people and just teach everyone how to do the same thing, right? You don't have to keep feeding into the network. Mosca is not a trading company. They don't trade your funds. This is not something where you put money in and then they're going to compound, make you this promise. We're going to compound your money 0.5%, 1-2% every day. Stop, guys. We have to stop believing the hype. And unfortunately for some people, over on the years where I was dormant, not building a company, and I was in ownership and looking at the landscape of what was out there, I was heartbroken by what I saw. I was heartbroken by what I was seeing happening in an industry that I fell in love with, in an industry that set me financially free. I was looking at all these rug pulls. I was looking at all of these false claims that were made by companies. Hey man, you put in $1, we're gonna make this 1,000 by the end of the month. Okay, guys, it can be true. If it sounds too good to be true, it normally is. And what happened, and I talked about this on an interview I did recently for a magazine, where it created, I'm not going to say a generation, but for a period of time, it created a lazy man's mentality in the home-based business industry. Nobody wanted to work anymore. They just wanted to take their hard-earned money out of savings. There were people who were liquidating 401ks. There were people who were taking second mortgages on homes and throwing them into these projects, hoping to become rich, only to realize that it was a false promise. And those companies took your money, ran away to resorts and fine car dealerships around the world with your money, and you were left holding the bag. At some point, it's got to stop. We just got to make better decisions. There's so many things I love about this project, because this is not that, right? How do you get started? Well, to become a citizen, one, you're an enroller, because to enroll into Mosca, if you're unfamiliar with cryptocurrency, if you've never opened a digital wallet before, we have a team in place that will help you. Your enroller can pay $20 and get you into the system. You can schedule a time with one of our onboarding specialists, and they will help you get started. Now, you may be fortunate enough to enroll with someone who knows how to do it and can walk you through it, and bada boom, bada bang, you're in, okay? However, we do have specialists on hand to help you with that process. To become a citizen, or come in at the citizen level, it's a one-time $125. That's going to get you 3 $28 tokens, and your onboarding specialist is going to help you get started, or can help you get started. The other part that you're going to love about Mosca is that, let's go to Cash App for a second, or Venmo or PayPal. When you send money to through Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, there are processing fees, transaction fees that are generated that takes a little bit from the balance that you're trying to send. And you get none of that. That's the company's profit, right? In this company, you get 0.25% of every transaction that happens in your personal enrollment tree off of anyone that you personally enroll, and anybody under them that they personally enroll. Guys, listen, that can be hundreds. That can be thousands of people over time. I literally could show you pages and pages and pages of transactions from the positions me and my partners are building, where you see 7 cents, 12 cents, 21 cents, 15 cents, $1, 85 cents, from people just moving money person to person through the network. So someone asked me the other day, because I do so many of these, my partners and I, we do a number of these Zooms. During the Q&A, somebody said, Mr. Iverson, so I was listening to the project, man. I was listening. And so you compared this to Cash App, but so what's the difference though, yo? I mean, what's the difference? I mean, if I already got Cash App, why should I use Mosca? So I paused, I just paused for effect, right? I knew I was going to pause for effect. And I said, does Cash App pay you any of those transaction fees? Good one, Mr. Iverson. That was a good one. Okay, I see. I get it now. I get it. Guys, listen, let's say all things are equal. If one service is going to pay you and the other one is not, probably going to go with the one who's giving me the money, right? So anyway, we'll pay for you can have your enroller pay for your onboarding. You can come into the citizen level 125 and you get 3 $28 tokens, and then watch your funds grow. The goal is for you to share this with 3 individuals as quickly as possible, preferably within 7 days. And let's watch how the compensation plan scales and grows over a 10-week period. We're going to start over here on the left of the compensation plan. Let's just kind of keep that slide up for a while. We're going to start over here on the left. Please imagine with me where it says week 10. Let's say that's week number 1, and we're going to move from left to right. Everything that you see in red is a one-time bonus. Everything else that you see in green is unavoidable, perpetual, residual income coming to you every single month. So I get started in week 1 at 125. I share this with 3 people who all get started at 125. I'm going to earn $32 one time. One of the individuals that I share this with in week 2, she does the same thing. Let's say that's Sophia. She does the same thing. She gets her 3 people. Now she gets the $32 bonus. I move up now and I'm earning $38 per month of perpetual residual income. Sophia shares this with 3 people. One of those individuals is named Jonathan. Jonathan gets his 3 people. Jonathan earns a $32 bonus one time. Sophia is now at $38 per month of residual. I move up to $71. Jonathan tells a man named Derek. Derek gets his 3 people. One of those individuals, Derek gets his 3 people. Now Derek earns $32. Sophia's at 38. Jonathan's at 71. I'm at 172. Guys, listen, you got the pattern now. We are simply encouraging everyone to get your 3 individuals, just like PayPal did, except what they were doing is giving you $20, $10, or $5 one time, go away, enjoy the PayPal service. We're saying thank you for helping to expand our network. We want to basically make you an equity partner and pay you perpetually, residually, forever. If you follow that same model of just helping everyone get 3, by that 10th week, where it says week 1, imagine that says week number 10, you're at $129,000+ per month of residual income. Now, let me help you with something. That might be difficult for some people to grasp. Oh, see, here we go with them big numbers. They're trying to listen, and this is why I wanted to share with you a little bit about my background so you can appreciate the perspective, which I know is unique, from which I speak. This has been my reality. This does not stun me because I've been at $100,000 a month before. And I'm not talking about Milli Vanilli stuff like one-hit wonder, like, okay, 1 month, I had a great month out of my lifetime. No. We did one of the biggest deals in home-based business history. As irony would have it, I was on the phone about a week ago with a gentleman about something else. And I'm brokering a deal with something. And he says, man, wait a minute. I've heard your name before. Are you the Spencer Ivers who's one of those 3 guys in this other company? I was like, yeah. He said, oh my gosh, dude, you were in this company when they paid y'all like $1.3 million each to come to. I was like, yeah, that's what we. Oh, dude, hey man, y'all know who this is? Anyway, the point is, guys, I've been here before. It doesn't shock me. And so a lot of times though, what I encourage people to do is to allow yourself to dream again. Guys, if you can't dream it, you'll never achieve it. You have to live sometimes and get out of your present and live in your future, right? That's why Napoleon Hill's book is so aptly named Think and Grow Rich. It didn't say get rich, then think. No, you have to see the millions in your account in your mind long before they manifest themselves in your bank account. And we have to do a better job of allowing ourselves to think and to dream big. Because if you can't see yourself making this kind of income, your subconscious mind will never attach to that goal. That subconscious mind drives your conscious mind, which drives your actions, which drives your paycheck. So I'd live in my future. I have two vision boards in front of me. One is smaller, one is huge. It's got my $15 million goal for this year. The other one has a smaller, but I have my goals in front of me all the time. I live in my reality every second. I live in my future every second of every day. Now, Mr. Iverson, can there be something even bigger, even more aggressive with Mosca? I'm so glad you asked. There is. Let's take a look. There's another level called the enterprise level. At the enterprise level, same thing. Your enroller can pay $20 to have you onboarded if they can't do it for you themselves. At the enterprise level, it's a one-time $425. Notice I keep saying one time because, again, guys, this is not a system where you have to keep pumping money in. Okay, you put in $425 this month, and then next month you put in $1,000. And if you want to get to the real money, you got to put in guys, $425 one time. That's it. Is there a monthly membership? There is, but once for the monthly membership fee at the 125 level, it's just $28 per month. At the enterprise level, it's $127 a month. However, once you've enrolled your 3 people, you will never have to worry about any sort of monthly obligation because it comes from your profits every month and you'll never feel it, guys. So get your 3 people. Go ahead and get that out of the way and you'll never have to worry about that. Now, when you come in at the enterprise level, you get 3 $28 tokens and 3 $99 tokens. And again, once you start sharing this, let's look at now how things scale even more aggressively at the enterprise level. We'll do the same thing. Start on your left-hand side. Imagine where it says week 10, it says week 1. I get started at $425. I shared this with 3 of my friends who do the exact same thing. One of those friends is Sophia. She gets started. I make $149 one time as a bonus. Sophia gets her 3 people. Now she's making $149 as that bonus. I'm at $173 of perpetual residual income. One of the 3 people that Sophia told was Jonathan. Jonathan gets his 3 people. He makes $149. Sophia's at $173. I'm at $328. Guys, you know the system. You know the pattern by now. Everybody helps grow the network. You grow the cooperative. You help scale most around the world by making your contribution of helping someone get 3. By that 10th week, you're at $597,000 per month. Guys, listen. I am big into mentorship. I'm huge into mentorship. And I know I keep referring to my masterclass, but it's a large part of what I do because I love helping people. And some people just need a good coach, somebody who's been where you're trying to go, because that's what's blessed me. Every step along the way, I had a mentor. God placed a mentor in my life. When I was wanting to be a CEO of a company in my 20s, I had patented a device, a couple of them actually. And I wanted to be a CEO of a company that I took public when I was 25 years old. You know, God placed in my life a gentleman by the name of John. He was the CFO of the Royal Bank of Canada, John Lou Hayden. And so I took that knowledge and then I got involved in the home-based business space. And I got started as a sports attorney. And God placed in my life a gentleman by the name of David Ware. He was the first African-American to represent a Heisman Trophy winner, Barry Sanders, Sean Springs, Deion Sanders. He mentored me as a good sports attorney. I ran into a guy by the name of Floyd Williams at my church who showed me how to make the money in network marketing with character and integrity. And I learned how to make 4 figures a month. And then God put a mentor in my life who showed me how to make 5 figures a month. I started making $10, $20, $30, $40, $80,000 per month, making 5 figures a month. Like, oh my gosh. Until God placed a mentor in my life who showed me how to make 6 figures a month. And we were making 6 figures a month, just every month. And guess what happened? Probably about a year and a half ago, I got into the commodity space. And God placed somebody in my life who showed me how to make 7 figures a month. And guess what happened? No, that hasn't happened yet. We're not at $1 million a month, but we on our way. We on why? Because I believe in making sure that I have people who've been where I am trying to go. What we're sharing with you, we're not intimidated by these numbers. But let me make this clear. What you're seeing by these numbers on the screen, that's the perfect scenario. I admit that. That is everybody coming in. Everybody coming in at 425. Everybody getting 3 people inside of 7 days. Nobody misses a beat. And by the end of it, guys, here's what we do know. That's not going to happen in real life. Some people are going to come in as citizen. Some people are going to come in at the enterprise. Can you upgrade? Yes, you can upgrade when you're ready by paying the difference. But let's play this game. What if I'm 50% right? What if at the end of your 10th week, you've been following the system as best you can, and I'm 50% right? How many of you all can just suffer? I mean, I get it. Through prayer and fasting, you can get by each month with about $300,000 a month. I know it'd be difficult for some of y'all. Mr. Iverson, what happens if I'm only 10% right? Only 10% right. How many of y'all could just squeeze by and get extra cheese on a cheeseburger with $60,000 a month of residual income, $720,000 a year on something? See, that's every project that I'm involved in my life has a residual income component. You know why? Because I learned from representing athletes and entertainers and musicians the power of residual income. Michael Jackson's estate continues to pay his estate and will pay his estate for all eternity. Why? Because of the music he recorded one time in the studio that pays him every time somebody downloads that song. I want to work hard one time and get paid in perpetuity where I can leave some. That's biblical. The Bible says that a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. That's why I'm working so hard. So, guys, listen, we are excited. I want to thank guys. I missed Uber and Zoom and YouTube and Google and Amazon. I didn't get the call for none of those companies. I got the call from Mosca though. I got the call from Mosca. Does it work, Mr. Iverson? Well, it works if you work. It works if you work. Nothing's free, right? And as was said at the beginning of this presentation, my partners and I, who God has blessed to do really well in business, we've committed 90 days of our life. 90 days, 3 months. 90 days, 9 o'clock at night, Eastern Standard Time, 90 days straight. We are doing live presentations. Again, in my world of law, that's called a clue. We've been here before. We know momentum when we see it. This is a project that third world countries like throughout the Caribbean, Africa, Nigeria, etc., they don't want that. They don't want this product. They don't want Mosca. They need Mosca. You know why? 2 reasons. One, they do not have a peer-to-peer service. If they want to send money person to person, they basically have 2 options. One, they can wire it from their bank. 2, they can use Western Union, which is expensive and sometimes slow and requires still somebody to physically go to the office to get the money. The other reason why they absolutely need Mosca is because 80% of people outside of America are unbanked. That doesn't mean they're poor, it just means they don't have bank accounts. The only thing they have is access to their mobile phones. So here comes a solution that's a peer-to-peer service that uses cryptocurrency instead of fiat, decentralized finance at its best, and they are eating it up. I can't begin to tell you the presentations we're doing for different countries. I literally got off the phone with a lady today. She should be enrolling by the end of the week. She's going to be flying to Jamaica on Wednesday. She's meeting with the Minister of Finance. And guess what she's going to be talking to the Minister of Finance of Mosca about? I mean, the Minister of Finance for Jamaica about Mosca. She leaves there on Thursday. She'll be in Turks and Caicos, meeting with the Prince or His Royal Highness or whoever the sovereign person is in Turks and Caicos. Guess what she's going to be talking about? Mosca. Guys, we got some people doing some big things. So I want to thank Dory on purpose, Ray, for inviting me, Pamela Boutte. I know many of you are here because of these 2 dynamic leaders who are taking the initiative to expose this the right way. They're taking the initiative to make sure you get the information properly, professionally, and they thought enough of you to bring someone on like myself to introduce you to this amazing project. And I will turn it back over into the capable hands of these 2 dynamic ladies.
Thank you so much, Mr. Iverson. That was an incredible information. I want to thank you again so much for taking time out of your day to talk to us and our family and our friends. But without further ado, I just want to make sure before I go on to a Q&A session that I say whoever brought you on to this live, shared it with you, make sure I know you're probably ready to get started, but make sure you go back to the person that invited you or that tagged you to get all the information you need to get started. Okay, without further ado now, if you have any questions, you can type those questions in the chat, in the comment area on the live as well, and we will make sure that Mr. Iverson gets those questions.
Pam, if I can add just one thing, Mr. Iverson, I have had the pleasure of being on your live just about every day since the day I started. And every time I get an opportunity to hear you, I learn something new. When I came to this platform, I knew nothing about crypto. I knew very little about the blockchain, but I love the fact that we could link up with people like you and your amazing partners and take ourselves into a whole new era, a whole new way of doing things. And if you're on this live for the first time, like Mr. Iverson said, he's not a financial planner for you. He's not your financial analyst, but you need to open your ears and allow yourself to hear about money a different way. I feel like I've been blessed beyond measure, that everything that I've done up until this point in my life has led me right here, and that I'm in the right place with the right people at the right time. Miss Beverly Deshay says it best: awesomeness, Mr. Iverson. I'm glad that you took the path that you took so that we can take the path that we're going to take. I feel super blessed, and thank you so much. I had to add that. It doesn't look like people have any questions, Pamela, but I'm going to turn it back over to you. But I will. Can I say one more thing? My takeover spirit is taking over, and I apologize. But 9 o'clock tonight, if you saw something that made sense to you, what you need to do, you have exactly 1 hour to hang up this phone, to get off this live, and call everybody who you care about and put them in front of this information. I don't care if it's Mr. Green, Mr. Brown, or Mr. Iverson. I have heard every last one of them present several times, and not one time have I left not feeling more empowered than when I came. You need to be on the telephone right now saying, I heard something, and don't try to explain it. I heard something that made sense to me. I need you to hear it the way I heard it, because if it makes sense to you, life's about to change. So don't feel like you have to have all the information, because if you put them in front of these three gentlemen, the work is already going to be done. So Pam, I can't say enough about you and how you have really been like a lifeline for our team. I appreciate you to no end. Y'all don't even know Pam speaks 17 languages, but we're not even going to talk about that. No, she's that's an insider. But Mr. Iverson, I know you have so much on your plate. We thank you. Pam, we thank you. This is being live streamed not only on Facebook, but if you're on LinkedIn and if you're on YouTube and you feel the need to share this live, make sure, like Pam said, you get the credit for your work. But go share this live all over the place. We're building a network of people who are going to change the world. And you got to be a part of this. So Pam, I'm going to turn over to you to close it out.
Yes. Absolutely, Dory. Thank you so much for that. I do see, if you want to check for a quick second, there's a question on your YouTube page from a Sherry Switch.
Okay.
One question, and then after that, we're going to wrap it up. Again, I want to thank everyone who joined us this evening for this incredible information. Please get back to the person that invited you, tagged you, whether you're on Miss Dory's page or anyone else's page. And to you, Mr. Iverson.
I'm sorry, Pam. I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The question was, what does Mosca mean?
Good question. I oftentimes mess this up. It's an acronym. Now, I get it for you all who are multilingual. I speak a little Spanish. I do know that Mosca in Spanish means fly. So we're not selling, fly repellent or fly swatters. It stands for Mobius Online Banking and Credit Association, right? I'm close on that one. Okay. Mobius Online Savings and Credit Association, okay, is what that stands for. It's a combination of a couple of concepts. Nobody explains it better than a CEO, Mr. Greg Baldwin. The ancient concept of saving and working person to person with the digital era of having an infinite system that allows for perpetual income. So it's actually an acronym of both ancient technology, ancient wisdom, and bringing it up to speed with where we are currently in today's digital marketplace.
Awesome. Thank you so much again. And with that said, we're going to end this live. And thank you again. Have a good evening, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.